Okay, so thank you all for being here. We have head coach of Ole Miss softball, Coach Traxel, and we have Lexi Brady and Jaden Pone here with us. And we're going to start with an opening statement from Coach, and then after we'll take questions from both here in real time and then on Zoom. So.
We're excited to be at regionals. Obviously, I really like how our team is playing these last few weeks. We know there's a lot of tradition here, storied success here at Arizona, very prideful program. It's going to be a great regional. I've seen Nancy Evans, our pitching coach, is coming back home, which we're proud to bring her back here and know that this has been a special place for her as a player and as a coach. So our team is ready. We had practice today. We'll have a nice dinner tonight. We have GCU, who's a really tough team in front of us. We will not underestimate them and look too far ahead because we know we got a battle in front of us tomorrow. But we'll look forward to the opportunity of getting out here. We have 11 seniors on our team, a very prideful group. And as they go this weekend, I think our team is going to go. And our team is in great hands with them leading us. So I look forward to the opportunity for the weekend. We're ready for the dog fights that are in front of us and GCU tomorrow.
Go ahead with your question.
Yeah. So today we had 6 members of the program named to the All-South region. It's obviously been a big year, especially offensively. What can you say about your group of award winners and even the team just thus far?
Yeah, obviously we're proud of the individuals who were recognized and honored with the success that they've had this season. We also know that when you get accolades on your team and people are recognized, it's usually because your team is having a lot of success too. So I think there's a little reflection of the success our team has had with the leadership and from the execution of the players that were honored the last couple of weeks, especially with Jaden and Lexi Brady, both first team all region, all conference, all SEC as well. So proud of their efforts and the consistency they've showed up with, and look forward to them leading us this weekend.
Okay, now we can go to who we have on Zoom. We have Eric Lopez from D1 Softball, who has a few questions.
Yeah, first for the players, what's it been like playing for Coach Traxel and Coach Early and Coach Evans?
First. It's really been great. This is my second year at Ole Miss, and just within myself and within the team, I've just seen a lot of growth. And then having Coach Earlywine coming in this year, I feel like he's really transformed our lineup and just opened up what we can do individually and as a group. So under the leadership of both of them, I feel like we've just been able to grow so much more within ourselves and as a team.
Yeah, kind of bouncing off that, I think Jamie obviously did a great job hiring. We have a lot of trust in all of our coaches. Coach E and Coach B, I think, really balance each other offensively. I have a lot of trust in them. And then Coach Evans, what she's doing in our bullpen, developing our pitchers and doing a good job pitch calling and stuff. But obviously, relying on Jamie, us being here for multiple years. So just relying in her process and trusting what she's doing.
And also for both of your players, tell me how you both are different and better players today than you were, say, opening day this year.
Yeah, I think just having a lot of confidence, and even just the newcomers and freshmen coming in and seeing how they can kind of feed on this energy. They just have this youthful thing about them. And I think just even looking down at a freshman and just being okay, well, if they're this excited about a game, it kind of even gives me confidence. I know it sounds kind of weird, a senior looking at a freshman, but it's true. And seeing how they approach the game kind of feeds me. And then obviously, I think just the success that we've had is easy to grow on top of, but also just trusting what we did all fall. We obviously put a lot of work into it, so trusting kind of the training that we've all put in.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like just really leveling up with the confidence, and then Jamie always says to be where your feet are, and I've kind of used that to lead myself every day at practice at the field, and just trying to show up with the same consistency every day.
And then for Coach, what's it like to have Nancy Evans on your staff and the impact she's made as she makes her return here to Arizona?
She's just a winner, as a player, as a coach. You won a world championship this past summer, so our whole coaching staff knows a lot about winning, a lot about the process, a lot about what it takes to get to a place that, a lot of coaches and players aspire to go, which is Oklahoma City, but more than that, how to win in these moments. Coach Evans, Nancy, is one of the most decorated pitchers in the history of our sport with 3 national championships. We always say there's something special about first, and I believe, if I'm right, their first championship at Arizona was also her first championship, so that was a paired relationship there. But she knows a lot about winning, and she's a competitor even now, and she throws BP and the mentality and the mindset, and I think for our players, knowing that she's been in their shoes in these moments that they've been in and will continue to be in this weekend gives them a lot of trust, through this process too and through the weekend.
Coach, from where your season started in Boca Raton to now, where have you seen the biggest growth on this team? And did you expect the growth to be as quick as it was? You've been ranked in the top 25 pretty much all year. Where did that growth come the most from?
Yeah, I actually said it probably every week. What I had a lot of confidence in was I just thought we would be a team that would continue to get better, and we would be a team that continued to ascend throughout the season. And I said that pretty early on. And the reason I thought that was we just had so many new pieces, a new coaching staff, 8 freshmen, 8 transfers. There's just so many new pieces that each week when we would come back and we would, even as a coaching staff, committed to the relationship, our communication, the different roles and responsibilities, to our returners getting comfortable with our new coaching staff, with new hitting coaches, a new pitching coach, with a freshman get acclimated to the returners and our seniors. I just thought there were so many new pieces that if we came back and we worked every week, which we did, that we would be a team that continued to get better, and we did. And I feel like we're playing our best when it matters the most.
And then my last question before I toss it over to David, what stands out from Grand Canyon when you watch them on film?
They're a team that you have to beat. They don't beat themselves very often. They're very balanced from pitching to good defense. Their offense is dynamic. They have sloppers. I feel like they built it to even come here and be successful with the field that we're about to play on at Arizona, with their speed and their power hitters. But just looking at what they've done, not just this year, they've had a great season, but even the last couple years, they're a team that doesn't beat themselves very often. They're going to pitch well, play good defense behind their pitchers, and manufacture runs. And so a lot of respect for that team, and I assure you we have not overlooked them at all. We know it's going to be a really tough game, as all postseason games are, but we know that this is going to be a battle. And the one thing is, I think if we prepare for one team, we get to prepare for another. So there's some comfort in that as we prepare for GCU in Arizona or Santa Clara, whoever we're playing. But we look forward to the battle tomorrow. You're not entitled or guaranteed anything. We know it's going to be a tough game, and we're going to have to go out there and earn it.
We'll take a question from David from Rebels 24/7.
I had to unmute there, I'm sorry. Okay, so, you're sitting next to 2 very accomplished veteran players, but I want to start off asking you about some of your freshmen. Percy Lamas, Mackenzie Pickens, Miley. Did you have expectations of them being able to deliver what they've delivered for the program this year?
Well, we recruited that class, which has been committed for a couple years now, seeing the different pieces and recognize that they each had a uniqueness and something special individually, let alone as a class. And so we recruited them, and we even told them they were coming here as the vision for us to continue and carry on the success and traditions from the people that have come before them, but to elevate this program to a place that we haven't been quite yet. So knowing that coming in, obviously, I think the body of work and the consistency that those athletes show up with. Miley's just a competitor. She wants the ball. She's not afraid of big moments. In those moments, she wants to be there. And I think that's sometimes half the battle. And then you go to Percy and Mac, and they're just so consistent. I say this all the time, but if you had a quote, Mackenzie Pickens would be, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And how she shows up, she does work on the front end, optional BP. She's there early, she stays late, she's a culture kid. And Percy's the same way. I don't know that Percy has sweat at all in a practice. And I say that as a compliment. She's just the same. It doesn't matter if it's practice. Believe me, she's working hard and like there's intent with it. But from practice to preseason, FAU to whoever we play Sunday, Saturday, like nothing changes for her mentally. And so I just think for how those guys are, especially the two-way players, you know, Mac and Percy, I just think it's just a byproduct of how they've shown up every single day, and their body of work through the last, you know, year since they've been here is kind of giving you a little insight into what you get. But to say that we would expect the big performances, the big hits, big plays, and big moments, you know, for what they've done, even especially against that Florida game, I don't know that we would have said that, but I'm not surprised just for what we've seen from them since they've been here.
Another question about your coaching staff. If you will, take me through the process of what it took to build this staff, because you've been to the World Series at Minnesota. Early one's been there at Missouri. Evans, we've talked about already, has been there at Arizona. And then Bobby Buchanan, who has just done an incredible job with your hitting this year. What was the thought process on building that staff out?
Well, I think some pieces have to fall into place, and I always say this, like you can't control timing, and sometimes just timing's a big piece of any hire, any move in your life. And, you know, Aaron was kind of the first hire, and I knew obviously we needed a great offensive coach, and, you know, again, for him, the timing for him to come back into college athletics was right for him, and it was right for us because of the opening that we had. And so once we had Aaron, I was looking for someone to kind of like follow with Aaron, like what's a good fit for him in terms of the data and the analytics and game planning, and really communicated with him about what he felt like was someone that he wanted, you know, because I do think that was one thing I had heard from my previous staffs was it'd be nice to have two elite hitting coaches, just because of how, you know, like the challenges of hitting and all the data and the movements and, you know, the different things that go into it. And then finding an elite pitching coach, which it's hard to do anyway. And then again, I think for Nancy Evans, like just one of the most decorated winners in our sport. Again, the timing was right for her. So I feel very grateful that those pieces fell into place. The opening for us, their availability and the timing was right for them. And I think they all complement each other and add something to our program. So I'm very grateful. I'm very appreciative that this was their choice to come to Ole Miss, and I'm proud of what we've been able to accomplish together. And I want to state this, like year ones are really challenging. They are, even if they're going really well, and there's so much behind the scenes that people just don't know, like the coaches have to make that commitment. They move in the middle of recruiting season. They dive right into it, jump right in. You know, I don't even know if all of them have unpacked, to be honest with you. So I'm grateful for that. And year ones have their challenges with so many new pieces, but I'm grateful and I'm proud of the journey we've been on and excited about what we can do together this weekend and maybe even earn the opportunity to go on and continue our season.
Okay, my last question for Lexi and Jaden both. Y'all stayed. A lot of your teammates, some of your teammates got in the portal after last year. Just obviously you believed in Jamie and you believed in what she was doing, but in your own words, why did you stay?
Yeah, I think you kind of said it yourself, just like believing and trusting in Jamie. I committed to Jamie back in high school, and I've never wavered or questioned her decisions or, you know, the pieces that go along with that. So obviously understanding that I'm in good hands when it comes to her. I like my administration and the teammates that decided to be a part of this program. So that going into it, I knew that she was going to do something special here, and she wouldn't let me down for my senior year, and I had a lot of trust in coming back to Jamie and what she was building at Ole Miss.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like being someone that has gone through like the transfer portal process, just with my own experience whenever I came on my visit to Ole Miss, I just loved Ole Miss and Jamie and just everything that we talked about, discussed, everything that we shared beliefs in was a huge reason for me wanting to stay. I never even considered leaving because I just knew there was so much more that we could just take on as a program, and this is right now is exactly why I stayed, because we have so much more in the tank, and I feel like this is only the beginning.
All right, thank you so much. That concludes this press conference.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Good job, guys.